Greets. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the long episode. Welcome to the long one. Welcome to the big one. How you doing? I hope you're doing all right. The world is burning still. We're still fighting. We're still surviving. Here we are. We're taking a break though. We're making some art. What's the use in art, eh? Huh? What has art done? Why do we like art? How's art helping? Questions. So hello. I did some pixel art buildings and I liked them a lot. I did 3 though. And I felt like 3 was too much for one video. So I split them up just because I thought they were quite good and maybe some of them deserve their own video. But not only that, I had a comment on a video a while ago saying someone was interested in seeing a sort of a slower down process, maybe a real time, drawing. And I just want to let you know that I am definitely looking into doing live streams. I basically need to just upgrade my internet because my internet's rubbish. And at the moment, it's looking quite hard to update these things. All this pandemic stuff, making it hard to get things going. But I thought the next best thing would just be an extra long video. The next best thing to a live stream would just be a long video. So basically, what I've done, because I feel like the videos where I'm drawing and talking at the same time and doing, and recording a video don't work as well because I get sidetracked. And I don't know what to say because I'm focusing on the drawing. However, because I've already done these buildings, and this is one building, the third and final building of the trio of designs, I thought, you know what? It's a good one. It's probably my favorite one of the 3, and I'll use it as a test for doing one of these videos. So I'm sorry, it's not like a fully illustrated pixel art landscape or anything, and it's just one object, one piece of architecture. But I hope you still enjoy. I hope you still enjoy it as a slow video. You'll get to see my process more, a bit closer. This is not actually in fully real time. I feel like it took me about almost 2 hours to do this building. Sometimes I have a lot of breaks. Sometimes I'll draw a bit and then delete a whole bit. Maybe I'll stop and fill a thing in or do some research online. And I try and pause whenever I'm recording these drawings. I do try and minimize the file sizes. But in general, there's probably better drawings. Where am I going with this? All I meant was it's not fully real time. Because if it was, this video would be almost 2 hours long. It's about just over double speed. I'm playing it at 250% of the time. And you can see how it's going to be, 45 minutes. So strap in. Welcome. I suppose this is what it would be like if I made a podcast. In general, though, just letting you know, also, I'm gonna maybe not edit this video as much, just because editing takes me a while as well. It takes me at least an hour, if not 2, just to edit together my normal videos, and they're 10 to 20 minutes long. So if I wanted to edit this entire video, Jesus, it would take me. It would take me hours, take me days. We don't want that. So sorry if there's I'm going to be fumbling my words. There's going to be long pauses maybe, towards the end especially. I'm going to just give up editing. But I hope you enjoy that. Maybe I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I mean, I'm going to watch the video with you. So I'm watching it. You're drawing. I'm drawing. We're drawing together. We're learning things. So you can see here. Basically, what's happened here is I truly didn't know what I was going to draw to begin with. I kind of just had a general idea that I wanted a building with a giant statue on it, like as if a statue was as if a building had been made within a statue. So I started out and I did like one of those lion dog heads, a Kirin head, and I was gonna like make a building underneath it. But you can see that I sort of stopped doing that, got rid of that. And as I was drawing, I just had an idea of sort of doing like a very Chinese looking dragon, spiraling around a building, like a really tall, like column like building. And then at the bottom, it would be like a restaurant or something, you know. And that's what this drawing's gonna be. It's gonna be a like a restaurant slash somebody's house, like a kind of block of flats kind of thing, with a sort of a worn and weathered and ramshackle Chinese dragon twist statue thing, twisting around. Definitely big inspiration Tekken Kinkri, inspiration from Spirited Away, even like the little town of restaurants, but mainly the crazy building designs and like weird structures and like giant waving cats, and it's like got a lot of Asian, like East Asian, but also Central Asian, like kind of like Hindu aesthetic, like design and art, lots of stuff going on. But it kind of ends up looking like a kind of like a traditional, like there's red lanterns, and it looks like a sort of like a Chinese restaurant, like a fantasy one, but grounded, all those good words. I hope you're doing all right. Thanks for. I mean, the thing is, right, I spend all this time on these videos, and I know that they don't get as many views. It's a tricky one. I understand that. Let's discuss this, shall we? As usual, I'm going to talk about even though I hate that about vloggers. I hate vloggers that talk about vlogging, and they have absolutely nothing to say. Boring as hell. But I would just like to say, if we're just going to get meta on this and we're going to talk about me talking, it's quite hard to maintain a lot of... it's quite hard to maintain entertaining sounding words when you're just having to come up with it all on your own. It's tricky. I feel like, if I did a podcast, I don't think it could just be me. You need a conversation, I think. You need to have at least two people to have an interesting podcast. Because I just don't think one person can keep it up. Does that make sense? I mean, for long videos, that's different. I guess people are used to that. Like YouTubers are used to talking for a long time in front of a camera. If I did do a podcast, I'd need a partner. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen. I mean, I would like it. I 100% do have a sort of like, I do have an interest in the idea. It seems like very, very, very cool to me, the idea of like pirate radio, and like with the internet we can now just like have podcasts and having people just sending messages out into the ether. I like that idea a lot. I like the idea that people can be listening to other people, different side of the planet. That's just cool. Take a moment. Take a moment to see how that's cool, huh? That I feel like this is what this video is gonna be. This video is gonna be me rambling. This is gonna be the mega ramble episode. No cuts. Or at least minimal cuts. I promise if I just sort of stop talking for like 5 minutes, then maybe I'll cut it out. I respect your time. And I know you're going to be flicking through this video anyway. You're going to be scrolling ahead. I know you cheeky bugger. Scrolling ahead. Getting to the good stuff. Trying to find the points where you could actually see something interesting happening. It's so slow. This is at over double speed, and look how slow it is. I just don't think real-time videos would be that interesting. Like, live streams are different. Live streams are there so you can like interact directly with me. But like just long videos, I don't know. Is that something some people want? I know there are some people out there who want short videos. You want short and sweet. You want to click on a video. You want to see the art being made, and you want some carefully curated thoughts and words just thrown at you at speed. But you haven't got that, all right? I understand that. You got me instead. You got me, a rambling man. He loves the sound of his own voice. What man doesn't? Am I right? What are we? Fucking hell. Egotistical maniacs. Straight white men. Gross. Straight white old men. Gross. Ruining everything. They're the problem, alright? Talk about demographics. Talk about roots of problems. Straight white men. Spitting truths. Obvious truths. We need to get better. What are we doing? What's been going on? I hope you're doing alright. I hope you're staying safe. Okay, things are going shit. It feels ominous. The world of work feels at the same time ominous and scary, but also there's like little glimmers of hope that like, ooh, maybe things will start crumbling down and we'll build something better out of the ashes. But also it's just scary. The idea, fucking economic crashes are scary. What if I lose all my savings in my bank? That would be horrible. I've got quite a lot of savings now because I don't buy anything. And I'm a privileged motherfucker. I just pay my rent and food. I've got a part-time job. That's the thing that pays most of my bills. Part of me is like thinking also, like, if I did end up losing that job, what would happen? Like, maybe I would go all in on like making prints, selling stuff online, getting Patreon. And like try my hardest to like contact millions of people all the time. I definitely don't do that enough, sending out emails, but also I just feel like bombarding everywhere the emails is also it's not the most productive thing that you can be doing. Whatever. I hope you're doing all right out there, basically. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're staying safe, staying grounded. I watched a really long... I don't know. I'm going to just talk about some of the things I watched. Like, I just want you to know how I am so in deep on YouTube. Like, I watch everything. I'm on the YouTubes. I'm watching people, everything. I'm watching Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson. I'm seeing the drama that's happening. Philosophy Tube, Contrapoints. We're in there. ItsaMeMyleo. I'm discovering Dom's Sketchcast. It's what I've been all my life. I've been like looking at YouTube more than TV, more than anything really. YouTube is the place that I have got the most like enjoyment out of like social media for sure. In general, I've like abandoned Facebook. I don't use Facebook anymore. I love Instagram just because I can just post art and images, so I use that as like a portfolio. But YouTube is just like pure entertainment. So I just feel like I'm a big YouTube advocate, and like this channel started because a friend of me started when we were like way younger. But we started making like little gaming YouTube videos. And they were what they were, rubbish. But it was fun. And then I went to uni, started, did illustration at university. I brought my games consoles, brought my laptop, and I thought, you know what? Maybe this is the time when I have like my own room. I'm away from home. I'll start YouTube. I'll do YouTubing on the side. And so I did. And I made some crappy Let's Play videos. I like played Transistor and Last of Us, and they were terrible. And then I thought, you know what? I should just do art, shouldn't I? Like I'm doing art at uni, I'm making art, and I keep talking about this, and I never mean it in like I never mean it in a bad way, but because it's hard. This is a video platform. It's hard to make 2D art on this if it's not like animation. Yeah, there's always been like a underlying current of like arty things on YouTube, but they never really like get super big. I mean, there obviously are exceptions and whatever. But like, yeah, I've always just thought maybe there is room for stuff like this on YouTube. And that's what I started doing. I just started drawing and talking, and now it's been like 6 years. I mean, in those 6 years, obviously, I haven't tried my hardest for all those 6 years. Sometimes I barely uploaded anything, and sometimes, I uploaded crap. I just uploaded like a 2 minute speed art. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to do. I feel like we need to get over this idea. Obviously, the internet can be a scary place. Lots of fucking shit going on. I just want you to know that on one level, I'm being like completely honest and open with you. As I said, have said many a time, I'm sort of just tuning into my stream of thought consciousness when I'm speaking to you. Um, but on another level, I do get that, like, I am thinking about the way that I'm coming across. I'm being honest with my thoughts and honest with my speech and how I'm talking to you. Obviously, I'm in control of what I'm gonna say to you, and I'm in control of like what I'm not gonna say to you. So it's tricky because I feel like just those types of things naturally happen. They naturally occur with your speech and your speech patterns, especially when you consider talking online. And I don't want you to think that I'm not aware about shit as well. Like, I know there's stuff going on. I know that there's loads of shit going on. It's hard to sort of fully. I feel like, you know what? I feel like TikTokers, and there's lots of famous people out there, like even big YouTubers, famous people on like Twitter, people on TikTok, all that shit. It's normally comedians. I feel like comedians are great. Funny people are great at sort of translating stuff, being so up to date and just saying stuff that is funny and contemporary, like good comedians, I mean. But sometimes it's hard when you're speaking about your own thing and you're talking about your own world, your own views, and your own like little things. So like this art channel, it can be. Sometimes it feels like you want to tell the video, the person, how much stuff that you're taking in and about, just so they understand where you're coming from more. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I feel like it's kind of important and it's kind of interesting to think about. Just because it's something that I think about, basically. I think like, what are people going to think about me in terms of what they think I'm aware of already, or like what am I conscious of, what am I taking in, and that's kind of like why I mentioned stuff about how I love YouTube and I watch a lot of YouTube is and podcasts and stuff like that. I'm listening is the answer. I'm listening to it all. quickly, just as a side, look, I've started doing the dragon. This bit's the coolest bit. Oh wait, I haven't fully been keeping up with this, but yeah. So I did. I've added. I like the texture. I want it to be like quite worn and weathered. The building. I think wanted to. I messed around with either having the lights on in the windows or lights off. I've added the little like the fan and the extraction fan and the satellite dish and all that stuff. And now I'm going in on the dragon. I feel like it took me quite a while to get the dragon right. I wasn't quite sure how to do it. I just wanted it to sort of look like those giant, like the eyes are just like balls. You know, like when you see the Chinese dragons or like the puppets and stuff. They just look, their mouths are like open, and their eyes are like kind of weird and starey off almost in like different directions. That's kind of what was inspired by it. But I also wanted it to look like it's like very, very like old and been there a while or something. But yeah, I'm pleased with it. I really like it. I edit. You can kind of see that the tail and the body is kind of a little bit off. In the end, it looks good. I think I get the wraparound right. Anyway, what's been going on that's not depressing? I'd just say like, you know what's inspiring? Seeing how the protests in America are still going on. I keep seeing tweets and like little videos of people saying how the protests are still going on, and in like New York, there was like 30 days of non-stop protests. Every day there was a protest happening, and that shit that shit's inspiring for sure. Just watched, in fact, an interesting video by Philosophy Tube. Check out Philosophy Tube. He does some great. If not, he's very theatrical. It's a lot to take in. He does very long videos. He does video essays about philosophy and stuff. But I think they're good. I think they're really good. I've learned. He's mentioned stuff that I've learned about and didn't know about for sure. And that's great. And also, I find myself agreeing a lot with some of his stuff as well. Philosophy Tube is good for philosophy stuff. I feel like if you know me, you know my brand, you know that I'm into philosophy. I'm into the wavy stuff, the hippy dippy concepts and all that stuff. So yeah, Philosophy Tube's good. Contrapoints is great as well. She's great. I do enjoy Contrapoints and Philosophy Tube for sure. Innuendo Studios is also a good one. How about I'm gonna turn this video into a little bit of a like, here's some of my favorite things, like learn about me kind of thing, maybe. Just because like recommendations from me, just so you learn a little bit more about me whilst watching this, and hopefully learning a little bit more about how I draw. Whoa. Yeah, Innuendo Studios is another sort of video essay YouTube channel, and he does amazing videos, so succinct, so well written. He did a great video series on the alt-right and sort of how the internet can radicalize people, and how these people exist, how someone can sort of exist in this world, and the route that they might go down in their thinking, to sort of become very closed off and very alt-right and angry, basically. That's such a good video series for sure. I really enjoyed it. Also, obviously Waneella. Waneella's got some great little music videos where there's just like atmospheric. The absolute queen of pixel art, the best pixel artist for sure is Waneella. And she's got, she just does little like ambient tunes. and like just scenes of her pixel art, and they're great. You should watch that. There's this guy a little bit younger than me, I think, called on YouTube. He's called ItsaMeMyleo, and he does great. He is like the king of pure old YouTube, if that makes sense. His videos are what I wish more YouTube was like, and he has just, even though he's younger than me, I think he has mastered the aesthetic and art of making YouTube videos the way that like I remember YouTube being like when I was younger. Just very lo-fi, but very arty, interesting. Lots of stuff going on. He's a great speaker and a great writer, and he makes really fun little videos, for sure. What else do I watch? Obviously, I watch in games. Games, I watch Beard Bros and Game Grumps, pretty much. I watch Dom Sketchcast. He's great. He's a great artist on the channel. He's a great artist on YouTube. Russell Brand, of course. Subscribe to Russell Brand. The Drawfee channel. They've just become super independent and they've got their own Patreon and stuff. So you should definitely go support them. They're so wholesome. The Drawfee channel. They're just some of the most wholesome, like, artists and illustrators and cartoonists on YouTube, for sure. They're great. It's weird. Like, I follow like IGN. I've subscribed to IGN and like lots of random channels that I kind of never really watch their videos. Oh yeah, go support Jonathan Mann. He's been writing a song a day for like over 4,000 days. I made my Songonauts animation about him and his channel. I mean, it's his thing. What? That didn't make any sense. I made a Songonauts animation for him and his podcast thing. But yeah, he also does like a song a day, writes a song a day. Oh yeah, obviously if you go on my channel, you can see things I like. Louie Zong, Mitchell Davis. They've got some great YouTube content. And that's what I'm absorbing through the content of YouTube. So I hope you've got a little window into what I like to watch. There's a little window into my YouTube habits. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, this bit's cool. I'm doing scales. This was interesting. I was just messing around with ways to do scales. So I had the sort of the shape blocked out, and then I just used just one size. So I enlarged the brush of the pen, the pencil tool, enlarged it to like whatever it is, like 10 pixels round. And then I just started just dabbing the circles, and just sort of just different darknesses and lights, and just overlaid all the. Well, no, I didn't overlay, but just layered up all the circles, and I think it made some cool little scales. And then I'm doing those like highlights as well. I do some highlights. Yeah, and I think it looks good. Anyway, what else? I need some new What I need some new music to listen to. I'm just sort of I'm listening to Starfucker a lot, like them. Plastic Mermaids, Princess Nokia, No Name, obviously. Who else am I listening to? I'm listening to a lot of like the Studio Ghibli soundtracks at the moment, to be honest. I'm listening to Acid Rap, Chance Rapper. I need new stuff. Like Spotify can be quite good. But I'm a cheapskate. I'm not paying for it, so I feel like I'm getting more and more ads because I've had it for so long. So yeah, it's kind of bullshit. I need some new stuff. I appreciate any and all recommendations for artists, YouTubers, even if they're not arty YouTubers, just a YouTuber that you like. I won't rip you to shreds if you recommend someone that I don't sort of vibe with. For example, I do not vibe with Joe Rogan. Not a Joe Rogan fan, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Duncan Trussell, however, yes, vibe with Duncan Trussell. I've been listening to his podcast a lot. He is funny. He's really good and cool and great conversations with cool people. You should check it out. And also, yeah, amazing at keeping the conversation going. He's great at being like open, and not afraid to sort of just talk a lot and then let the guest sort of answer back in an equal way. What about movies? What movies we seen recently? I don't know. I haven't. We're all stuck inside. I've been rewatching. I've been watching Malcolm in the Middle again. That is some peak. Came out in like 2000 or 2001, but it just feels like it's so good. Such a good show. It feels like the 90s were building to the invention of Malcolm in the Middle. Feels like that's what the 90s was made to make. It's a good show. I've almost finished Earthsea. I feel like I've talked about that for way too long. I'm a very slow reader. And what I mean by that is I find myself having very little amount of time to read. So I'm normally like drawing, playing video games, sleeping, or working. So like it takes me a while. I normally only get to like read like a chapter or half a chapter a day, and then it's like 2 a.m. and I'm just like, I gotta go to sleep. But I've almost finished it, and it's amazing. Earthsea's like it's become one of my favorite books of all time. What I'm gonna do after that is start reading the graphic novel Attack on Kincrete, because I have never actually read it. Shamefully, I go on about it all the time. But I'm going to get inspiration from my graphic novel. I'm going to like try and like see how it's done. See how a weird graphic novel is made. Try and do it myself. Oh, also interesting thing to mention. I ordered a print from a website to test the quality of the print. They're called Printful, and what you can do is you can link your website to them, and they will print orders one by one. So when your orders come through, without you having to do anything, and you also get way more profit than like the places like Redbubble and shit like that, where you only get like 20% of the sales. You would go through my website, but when you order it, if I made a shop, when you order it, they deal with that single order and they will print it and send it to you. And then I get most of the profit. I'll get like however much I choose. So like, for example, if I was just making prints, I don't know, the print would be 20 quid and I'd get 15 quid of the sale. So that's pretty good. It's like a 60-70% cut. I'm looking into it. I'm going to really judge the quality of the print that I've ordered myself to test it. But who knows? Maybe that's how I'll survive. I'll survive by making my own prints. Wow. My own art. Making money off my own art. That'll be the title of the video. It won't be, because I'll be lying. Oh, sometimes I do just think, though, I've got to, I do have to make some of the cringy, cliche videos, don't I? Because people click on them. For sure. I'm aware we're getting near the end of the video here. I'm like doing a lot of kind of finishing touches, adding a lot of detail. I feel like I don't keep all of these chimneys and like steam vents, but like I was going a bit mad with how many like vents and pipes I was putting on it. But I just like the idea that there's like from the kitchen, there's just loads of steam coming out of this dragon, and it looks like, it looks like smoke coming from the dragon's mouth and things like that. So I was going a bit mad with those. I don't know what I'm doing here. Have I like just stopped? I can't work it out. Anyway, what should we talk about? I feel like I've managed to ramble for a long time, and I've managed not to say anything. Lots of crazy stuff going on in the art world as well. The video, like going back to what I was talking about in another video. Yeah, crazy shit about like Last of Us and loads of industries. And man, it's just sort of, it's a really shitty, it's a shame because obviously I can sit here with my part-time job and my sporadic freelance work and say, oh, the industry's shit, don't go for it. But obviously, it would be cool to get a cool industry level job, sure. But at the same time, as well as that, me thinking like I shouldn't just disparage this whole thing. At the same time, it's almost like, how can I not feel like that? Because there's so many stories out there and so many people saying how shit of an experience they had in like publishing, comics, video games, animation, all these like offices and industry places, just like horrible shit about like office culture. And I know it's not just art, I know it's like prevalent everywhere across like wherever there's jobs and people together and whatever, because men are trash. Oh my god! So I wonder if I'll ever get called like a simp or a cuck. I'm just I'm a leftist hippie cuck. I know it's all over the place, but because I'm in the art realm, that's what I focus on. And it seems to also, there's an element of like the art world and art industry that because it's so sort of like entertainment based, just like with film and stuff and music, we do sort of like put it on a pedestal, and also we kind of obsess over it, and it's more in your face. So when stories come out, it's more like, oh no, like this really cool thing that I thought was cool is actually not so cool, It's like, oh, all these dream jobs are actually maybe not what you thought they were and stuff like that, because, there's so much stuff that's about like hiding behind the curtain and what you don't see. And stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know why I brought that up. I don't know. I've just been, lately, as usual, I've been feeling pretty drained. I've been feeling pretty like, just the world of work is horrible. I mentioned this to like my family and stuff, and like my mum will be like, "Oh no, don't say that. You can't say. You gotta work. You gotta work." And it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to work, but what I'm saying is the system that we've got for work is horrible for pretty much 90% of the population. Like, I would say 90% of people don't like their jobs and don't feel fulfilled by their jobs. And at the same time, you should also not put your self-worth on your job. Like, you should never feel like if you quit or if you stop doing the job you're doing, that you're then worthless now because you're not doing anything. Because that's just horrible. You're breaking down life, and you're saying that life is only meaningful if you're working. That's dystopic. That's horrible. Like life's about living. Oh, I'm a big old hippie, man. Look at this tie-dye shirt. Oh my god, I've just realised that I've not even mentioned the Philosophy Tube video. I've brought it up, I think, like 3 times now. And what I was trying to tell you was that I recently saw a cool Philosophy Tube website called... I can't even speak anymore. I recently saw a cool Philosophy Tube video called Charles Darwin versus Karl Marx, and he just had it was just a really interesting video talking about like the current state of the world, but also discussing the similarities and differences between the idea of Charles Darwin's natural selection theory, linking it to like the social Darwinism that we sort of comment on, and how we've cultivated that, and how it relates to like a Marxist view of like the economy and society. And it was straight up so like simple and easy to understand, yet fascinating. So I'm just letting you know that that's what I've been watching recently, and that's the realm I'm in. Acutely aware that the video's coming to an end. Very, very startlingly aware that I've been speaking for almost 45 minutes now. And I'll need to wrap it up. And I I hate listening to my own voice. So, God, I can't imagine if you have listened to all 45 minutes of this. All I can say is I'm sorry, and that just like more power to you, because like this is ridiculous. I don't know who would listen to this, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I haven't been like shouting too much, because I know that you sort of just want to draw along with me, maybe. Because I hope you are. That was the goal of this, and maybe in the future I'll realize that I don't have to be so fucking energized, and maybe we can be a bit more chill. But I hope you've managed to chill regardless of me sort of just saying shit in a wild way. But yeah, wait, I just wanted to mention one more thing. Like, I just wanted you to also, be aware of like how, not just about me, but like about other YouTubers and other people. You never know what they're consuming. They could be. I feel like it's interesting to find out what other people are taking in. I think about this a lot, actually, even with like my friends and stuff. I'm like, oh, I wonder what like they're paying attention to that is making them say the things they say, and what other people are paying attention to, and what am I reading, what am I being exposed to that leads me to think of and say the things that I say. So I just feel like I wanted to talk about that and say, like, mention stuff that I like, what I'm listening to, what I'm thinking about, what I'm reading, but also how that influences stuff, I guess. Is that interesting? I don't think that's interesting. You're doing it, I'm doing it, we're all here. Going back to that, I feel like, yeah, so it can be cool. Like, you can find inspiration, if you're looking up to someone and then they show you what they like, and then you can be like, oh my God, so this is what they were looking at when they made this thing. Or alternatively, it can sort of expose people a bit, because you might be thinking, oh, this is a cool person, they're making cool stuff, and then you discover about their sort of personal like philosophies, and you think like, ooh, ouch, that's a bit yikes, and you sort of think, you question them, because like I get that some people might say to that like, oh no, you shouldn't, you should separate the classic, like separate the artist from the art. But I would sort of say like, all it means to me is I would just be wary. Like, if someone values an opinion or an idea, because sometimes it's not opinion, if someone values like a belief that you think is like super problematic or horrible, then maybe you don't have to listen to them about like art, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, having said that, I will now reveal to you what quarantine life has now led me to, and this roller coaster of 2020 has led me to. The other day I was like looking up something. And I went on a bit of like a Wikipedia rabbit hole. And I found out a thing called synchromysticism. I think it was called synchromysticism. And then that led me on to chaos magic. And I feel like if you know me and if you know what chaos magic is, then you will also know that I was vibing with it. I like the sound of it. I'm into it. This is a joke. I'm not like 100% in it, but at the same time, it makes so much sense. I've got very pantheistic beliefs. The universe is all connected. Scientific fact, everything's atoms. Everything's atoms and everything's space between atoms. Therefore, scientific fact, everything is just like one thing happening. We are an event occurring, you know? The universe, one thing. We love to think about ourselves and our ego. And we are obsessed with like separating everything and saying like this is hard, this is soft, this is black, this is white, whatever. This is alive, this is not alive. Love to do that, we do, humans. Love it. But that's a completely humanistic worldview. That's a completely like... It is just as much scientific fact that I am separate from everything as it is a scientific fact that I am actually made of the same stuff that everything is made of. And people might say, that's why is that useful? And I would say to you, it's useful because it's not a perspective that you're usually thinking about. I think it's a perspective that is useful to sometimes think about because it gets you out of your head. It takes you out a bit. It sort of like makes you consider things beyond yourself. And I think that's important. So chaos magic is the idea that because everything's connected, is there a way for like the consciousness that you're experiencing that is the same stuff as everything around you? Is there a way to sort of focus on an idea so much that you sort of make it happen? Whether that be like me focusing on like I want to get a book out and then working hard to get that book out, but it's because I've been focusing on it that it's actually happened, you know? Obviously, if I just sat around and did nothing and just focused on it, probably wouldn't. But I feel like there's a loose truth to that magical thing. Anyway, I'm sounding like a crazy man now. I'll let you go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking you, but that's where I'm at. That's where my psyche's at. I'm getting into chaos magic. And maybe if you do too, and you focus on me becoming a successful artist, then maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this little dragon restaurant building pixel art thing. This was fun. I'll get better and I can do some more chill things. Maybe next time I'll actually talk about the drawing more and I'll explain my process. But I'd just like to say, yeah, so at the end you saw my process. I added some smoke, added some lighting effects, so there's some overlays to the lanterns. And then on the finished piece I add a gradient overlay that's like orange to dark blue, and it gives it a nice like sunset-y feel. So that's how I finish it up. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoy your internet browsing wherever you go. If you finish this, if you watch this whole thing, I salute you. I'm really grateful for you being here. I'm grateful for you subscribing. I'm grateful for watching my videos. Yeah, enjoy. I hope you're doing alright. Keep fighting that good fight. Thanks for supporting me and my stuff. I'm gonna try and upload some more stuff to my Instagram. I've done some characters that I didn't film, unfortunately, but I replaced my like chakra portraits of ladies. I replaced that idea with doing some comic characters that I liked a bit better. So I'm gonna upload them. Also, I've done a little Animal Crossing Island tour, so that's probably going to be a slightly long video as well. Maybe not. I'm going to try and cut it down. I'm sorry if you didn't enjoy this. Just know that more normal videos are on their way too. I'm doing my best, and I hope you're doing your best too. Keep looking out for one another. Yeah, that's. I think I got to stop talking now. That's where I'm going to wrap it up. Much love. Keep on trucking. That's all I can say, really. Keep on trucking.